Un secondo che regolo le opzioni. Ok. Ok. Vi ispira dal titolo? Sei Nigel Wimble, un filmmaker di documentari, sì. E il primo praticamente era una sorta di documentario. Siamo a 23 mil very close to finish filming the final episode of your... Il primo era doppiato, spero che non sia tutto così. Una guida per gli isolati. Un uomo di 43 anni che è stato messo in punizione nella sua stanza per oltre 30 anni. Dato che sua madre Margaret permette solo 15 minuti al giorno di visite per Harold, hai abbastanza tempo per parlargli di 3 argomenti. Scegli attentamente 3 oggetti di interesse dalla stanza di Harold per imparare come lui copes, non mi viene il termine, cioè non so un termine italiano per tradurre il coping, in ogni caso con la noia e la solitudine. Il suo modo di fronteggiare forse la noia e la solitudine, però non è esattamente la stessa cosa. Va bene, buonanotte, non ti ispira proprio. D'accordo. Ogni oggetto racconta una storia. Ma non tutte le storie sono rilevanti nello show di Nigel. Conferma la selezione e poi guarda il documentario che si dirama. Il tuo show avrà un punteggio da un gruppo di focus alla fine. Buona fortuna. Tutorial. Preso un achievement. Options. Shot documentary. Margaret, Harold, il letto, il poster, la TV, la chitarra, la fish tank. Ok, si accettano suggerimenti. Telescopio. Ho paura, esattamente con il primo ho paura a cliccare. Cope e affrontare, ok. Però è affrontare in un senso psicologico, è strano. Allora io sceglierei lui comunque, come topic, mi interessa.
Harold Fletcher.
Oh, finalmente.
Man in a curious situation.
Is this going to take long? Mother says visitation is only 15 minutes today, even though you're the first visitor I've ever had.
Abbiamo questo uomo in... tipo in ostaggio dalla madre. Posso parlare, esaminare, pensarci o selezionarlo? E lui lo posso... Ah, lui non lo posso selezionare, ok. Pensarci. Beh, esaminiamo.
Harold's mother Margaret. How long will she punish him for?
Oh, I wish you'd stop staring at me, Mr. Wimble.
È terribile scrivere dal
Harold doesn't need a
tablet.
father.
No, non ho capito. La chitarra.
How long has Harold been playing guitar? What if I've discovered a virtuoso? It looks well used.
Mother says I sing like a dog, howling in agony.
No, vabbè. Dice che cioè, l'ho esaminata, posso pensare.
Potential soundbite. Music can turn your ears into eyes and show you worlds your eyes wouldn't believe.
Ok, poster con l'ape.
Boris the KGB movie came out in the 80s. Was this the last movie Harold went out to see?
Boris is actually ex-KGB. He fights for us now. It shows people can change, Mother. This is why I don't allow Harold to watch movies anymore. Rotting his mind with Soviet propaganda.
Ok, la madre è abbastanza fuori di testa.
Potential soundbite. A mother's love is very special. I've been with many single mothers, so I know firsthand how special it can be. Harold's mother's love is special, but not the kind of special love I'm looking for on a Saturday night. And neither is Harold.
Quel coso bianco a sinistra che è un coniglio.
This oversized cuddly
No,
toy
è un
looks like it's
pupazzo.
grown old with Harold. I bet a story about these two growing up could pull at the heartstrings.
Ok, questo quindi potrebbe
Little
essere...
stains.
Harold's been
No,
rather good to me over the years.
no. È un sex toy per lui.
Potential soundbite. Harold and his co-prisoner, an overstuffed rabbit, have been through hell together, but at least they had each other to ease the loneliness.
Lui non sembra
For
felice.
the hankies.
Quindi... Vabbè, abbiamo questo letto a sto punto.
42-year-old man still sleeping in a plastic race car bed? How pathetic. And it's just what I'm looking for.
Oh, Harold loves cars and sleeping. It only made sense to combine his passions.
Ok.
Potential soundbite. Asleep in his race car bed. I imagine Harold dreams of driving off this road of isolation.
Ok. C'è
This
della
looks like a
carta.
screenplay.
Ah,
Harold writing a movie?
è un
I
copione.
like to write erotic drama, set in science fiction landscapes.
Va benissimo, va bene, d'accordo. Ok, la TV. Tanto tutte queste azioni sono superflue, però dobbiamo comunque, secondo me, farle perché per scegliere i tre argomenti poi di cui parlare.
A modern TV? I'm surprised his mother allows him to watch television.
E invece...
He's allowed that on no later than 8 p.m.
Ah, ok.
Potential soundbite. For the isolated idiot, television isn't an escapism we all take for granted. Nice.
C'è pure il camioncino.
Truck made by Harold's father, perhaps. Maybe I can trigger a painful memory.
Oh, Harold never plays with that, after everything his father did for him.
Poi poi ti dico com'era il primo.
I couldn't help but notice the novelty crab clock. Sometimes to combat loneliness, the isolated will attribute personality to inanimate objects. Like in that Tom
Ok.
Hanks movie.
Sì,
Oh, Harold
Castaway.
loves that clock. We sometimes use it to time the intervals between Harold being naughty. For every 5 minutes he's good, I don't smack him round the head.
Non credo che l'orologio sia importante.
Potential soundbite. For Harold, the watchful clock is ever ticking. In a way, time has been his only companion.
Questa è
That's
profonda.
majestic, Nigel.
Esatto. Eh, come diavolo si fa? Ok. Mm. C'è il telescopio che manca.
Harold's only view to the larger world is through this telescope. It breaks your heart.
Invece lo usa per
Mortal
spiare.
94 is rather slender.
Ecco. Perfetto. Ci avrei scommesso.
Potential soundbite. With an eye in the sky, you can sometimes forget where your feet are. Oh, that's poetic.
Sei ancora viva, spero.
An empty aquarium. Pet fish, like Harold, are prisoners to their environment. Well, I can draw a great parallel to this.
Harold's father was never
Okay.
there, so I got him a fish.
Potential soundbite. Like the fish, Harold is swimming in a sea of isolation. Yeah, that's really nice.
Sta migliorando con le metafore. E perché ci sono altri
I
pesci
noticed
qua?
a mural on Harold's wall.
Ah, è un murale.
Two fish swimming away from each other. Did Harold paint this as a metaphor for the relationship with his mother?
That was the first and last time Harold scribbled on his wall.
Ok. Io sceglierei le cose a questo punto. Questo l'ho fatto?
Potential soundbite. A mother's love is very
Ah sì, l'avevo fatto.
neither.
Mm. Potremmo fare una storia, vabbè, di lui non possiamo parlare della madre. Il coniglio vuoi scegliere, ok. Io avevo pensato magari alla chitarra, oppure al camioncino. Oppure alla TV addirittura. Mi sembra. C'è anche il copione suo che potrebbe essere interessante. Il letto non lo so. L'orologio non saprei. Il telescopio può essere. L'orologio è il più profondo, quindi facciamo mamma, orologio e coniglio. E facciamo il documentario. Ok.
Isolation is no joke.
Mhm.
It's not just boring, it's lonely too. Nobody understands that more than the subject of tonight's episode of How to Cope with Boredom and Loneliness, a guide for the isolated. Hello, I'm Nigel Wimble. Harold Fletcher has been grounded to his bedroom since 1986. That's over 30 years. His mother has offered us a rare glimpse into his life as prisoner and son.
On your feet, Fletcher. You have a visitor.
I hope to learn how Harold has coped with the boredom and loneliness from 30 years of isolation. Harold's mother has always played prison warden, from room to room. Margaret, do you worry about the harm this isolation may be causing Harold?
Harold brought this on himself. What about me? I've been isolated too. I haven't had sex since Harold's father died. No one would ever want to be stepfather to that little bastard. You should be making this documentary about me. I'm the one being punished. I'm so lonely, Mr. Wimble.
Ok. Ho sbloccato un altro achievement.
Cohabiter and overstuffed rabbit have been through hell together, but at least had each other to ease the loneliness.
Ok.
Yes, Kevin is a dear friend. We've become rather close over these past few years and perhaps more than just friends at this stage.
Benissimo.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Kevin has needs and I have needs. I'm forever sewing that towel back on.
We saw this kind of thing go on in our prison episode, so I'm not entirely surprised to see it happen in here too. Whether this arrangement is mutual, we will never know. As Kevin has decided to remain quiet during the making of this documentary.
Ho preso un altro achievement.
The watchful clock is ever ticking. In a way, time has been his only companion.
I've always hated
Che si chiama
that clock.
Stuffed.
He's always been there
Cioè,
mocking me with his
farcito.
incessant ticking and tocking. Did you know he's ticked roughly 1,060,680,001, 2, 3 times since my
Che
incarceration?
cazzo?
I didn't bother counting the tocks.
Quindi lui conta tutti i ticchettini da quando è stato... Ok.
I hope one day he will find freedom and live a full life. Until then, he will continue to look for ways to cope with boredom and loneliness. I'm Nigel Wimble. Good night. Join us next week as Nigel investigates cows. And why so many stomachs?
Come
9 p.m. Wednesday night on PPTV.
Bad. È andata malissimo. Comunque il primo praticamente parlava di un tizio che aveva una malattia che gli cambiava la testa in diverse forme di animali a caso. Allora, Hot Milk Figure. Cioè, una delle recensioni è spam. Ah, uno mi ha dato 10/10 e questo qua invece è annoiato per il fatto dell'orologio, immaginavo. Però è stato interessante come gag. Ok, direi che è il caso di cambiare un po' di cose. Vediamo come si può... sì, perfetto, c'è il fast forward. Ok, allora questo qua è piaciuto, la madre no e l'orologio no, quindi probabilmente dovremmo rifare questo, però c'è tempo di vedere il copione, giusto, il copione. A questo punto, anzi, facciamo che metto la TV e poi il copione, così possiamo costruire una storia magari, e a sto punto facciamo prima il poster, poi la TV e poi il copione. Sono curioso di vedere cosa esce fuori. La chitarra la facciamo alla prossima. Volevo fare una cosa tutta tematica
Isolation
sui
is no
film.
joke. It's not how to go.
Va bene.
Harold Fletcher has been grounded to his bedroom.
Questo l'abbiamo già sentito.
I hope to learn how Harold.
Ok.
I noticed a poster for an old children's movie. For some, movies are an escape from reality. The Harold is
Mi piace
reality
l'idea di aver
is like a
fatto
movie.
una cosa.
But
Che
it's a
succede?
TV movie starring actors you haven't seen in 20 years.
I do love getting lost in a good movie. I think Boris the KGB movie was the last time I did get lost in a movie. It was the last time Mother rewarded me for good behaviour.
Qualcuno si è iscritto.
I remember it like yesterday.
Grazie. Ho sentito solo il suono ma non avevo visto la notifica, ok. Mi sono distratto. Oddio. Ah. Ah. Ah! Oddio. That was unexpected. Come si
I
dice?
remember Boris used to say, "Oh, behave, brother." Get it?
Madonna,
Behave.
quello sì
There
che
was
è un
also funny when Mother used to
flashback.
tell
Che
me to
cazzo?
behave, and I'd retort, "Oh, behave,
Una canzone
Mother." Do you
intera.
remember that, Mother? Yes, I do remember, you cheeky little shit. Then Mother would put you over a knee, but you didn't tell the man that, did you? Have you seen the version on YouTube where the movie speeds up every time Boris kills a dissident? It becomes quite dizzying.
Vabbè. VA Brother, ho sbloccato un'altra
But
achievement.
the isolated idiot watching television is an escapism we all take for granted.
Well, Mother treated me to a modern television last year. She says if I'm good this year, she will allow me to keep the plug for an extra 10 minutes. But you haven't been good, have you, Harold? Tell the man about the carrot you stuck up your nose. I told you not to smuggle food in here. Well, Kevin likes a snack when we watch the first 23 minutes of a movie.
Ok. Cavity Search.
Despite a screenplay Harold had been working on,
E questo è il
a movie
copione.
producer in the making, he certainly wouldn't look at a place in Hollywood. He decided to read me some lines from his new screenplay called Brad Planet and the Tentacle of Temptation.
She ran a slightly damp tentacle across his cheek as he gazed longingly into her compound eyes. I don't care that you tried to bite my head off during coitus. I love you, Sheila. Run away to Planet Vargon with me. I love you too, Brad, but my father... Let me talk to him. He'll understand once I show him how much I love you. Now come here and kiss me. Oh, Brad. Sheila passionately kisses Brad with her full mouth. Brad slowly sticks his finger into her gooey. That will do, Harold. You're a bloody space pervert.
Ma che cazzo. Terrible. Tentacle porn ho
My
sbloccato
time with
come
Harold has come
achievement.
to an end. I hope one day he will find freedom and live a full life. Until then, he will continue to look for ways to cope with boredom and loneliness. I'm Nigel Wimble. Good night. Join us next week as Nigel investigates sandwiches. Do they really taste better cut diagonally? We'll let the evidence decide. 9 p.m. Wednesday night on PBTV.
Quindi com'è andata? Regolare. Ok, 7-10. Però è scesa la scritta, non va bene. Va bene. La TV non è stata una buona idea. Però il copione è andato bene. Quindi per il momento il coniglio e il copione sono le cose che sono andate meglio. Io lo farei un altro giro. Cioè lo vorrei anche finire. Quindi Cos'è che manca alla fine? La chitarra. Mm, forse il telescopio. E poi il camioncino che gli ha regalato il padre mi sembra pure da fare. Anche questo è interessante, in effetti. A meno che tu non abbia altre idee, non so. Perché c'è questo. E il letto anche. Beh, io partirei.
Well, Harold's always been a naughty boy. He's been quite out of hand, you know. I've only got one nice picture of him, and even in that he's pissing on the cat. In the end, I sent him to his bedroom, and the bad behaviour seemed to stop. So I've kept him up there permanently.
I had a look around Harold's room to discover what he uses to cope with the boredom and loneliness from 33 years of isolation. Music can take you to places only your ears can see. The guitar is Harold's vessel to unseen worlds, and he is the captain.
If Mother allows it, I will play you a new piece I've been working on, entitled Plastic Race Car Bed.
No, un'altra canzone. Ok.
Sitting in my car, my little plastic car, yes here we are. Oh my God, my little plastic car, turn it to the road and I sing this song. Oh Papa, not in my car, these tires are made for asphalt roads. With an eye in the sky, you can sometimes forget where
Okay.
your feet are. For Harold, he never forgets where his feet are, but still has sights on the stars.
This old telescope has got me through many an afternoon. Sometimes I'll pretend I'm a World War II sniper and people at the bus stop are advancing Germans. They wouldn't stand a chance if it was a sniper rifle, let me tell you.
Vabbè.
They could try taking cover, but I'm pretty sure the bullets would penetrate the bus shelter. It would be an absolute bloodbath.
A poorly carved toy truck serves as a reminder of an absent father, where sometimes life on the road means, Mummy, when's Daddy coming home?
Harold's father has been absent for most of his life, mostly owing to the fact that he's dead. He was involved in a massive collision, resulting in 52 deaths. Father made me this truck himself. He said he used to work on it while he was on long journeys. The police officer said he was whittling the last piece when his truck collided with the school bus.
Ok.
My time with Harold has come to an end. I hope one day he will find freedom and live a full life. Until then, he will continue to look for ways to cope with boredom and loneliness. I'm Nigel Wimble. Good night. Join us next week as Nigel investigates sandwiches. Do they really taste better cut diagonally? We'll let the evidence decide. 9 p.m. Wednesday night on PBTV.
Chitarra, va bene. Qualcuno che usava il telescopio nello stesso modo, identico. E qualcuno l'ha trovato troppo deprimente. La cresta la togli, no? Non lo so. Non è specificato. Buonasera comunque. Quindi la chitarra è un'altra ottima cosa. Boredom e loneliness. Allora, non so da quanto tempo sei qui, se ti serve un briefing. Stiamo girando documentari su sto tipo e bisogna scegliere 3 oggetti di interesse per costruire un documentario interessante. E ognuno di questi li ho potuti esaminare, eccetera. Adesso sto andando per esclusione per vedere quelli che ottengono il miglior rating, diciamo. Quindi gli unici 3 che mi mancano a questo punto, quelli che hanno preso i voti migliori, sono stati la chitarra, il coniglio e quale altro? Va che me lo sono dimenticato. Ne avevo trovato uno per ognuno. Forse il copione. Vabbè, comunque. Letto. Morales. E fish tank. Facciamo così. No, 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 la lampada no,
His
ho
name's
provato
Harold
prima.
Fletcher, and he spent the last 30 years grounded to his bedroom. In tonight's final part of How to Cope with Boredom and Loneliness, a guide
Cioè, a
to
un
the
certo
isolated,
punto
we
bisognerebbe
saved the worst for
fare...
last. And by worst, I mean award-winning.
Ah,
Hello,
ok.
I'm Nigel Wimble.
I can't even remember why I grounded him now. It wasn't for any one thing in particular. More just a bubbling pot of bad behaviour that needed to put a lid on, so to speak.
You can replace the word lid with Harold's bedroom door. To understand
Non mi
Harold's
conviene
mother's
saltare
analogy,
perché ogni volta mi
I
dice
was
cose
desperate to
nuove,
discover
cazzo.
how Harold had been coping with the boredom and loneliness from 30 years of isolation. Harold still sleeps in the plastic race car bed he slept in as a child. You can imagine Harold dreaming about driving away from this isolated, childlike reality.
Well, I always had a passion for race cars as a child, but I suppose that passion has since left me, unlike the bed. Though I can't complain, the springs merely provide moderate pain, and my feet angle no more than 7 to 10 inches from the end of the mattress. Like Mother always says, as long as your head is above water, you can technically sleep anywhere.
Ok.
You can lose hours
Altro
to the peace and
achievement, va bene.
tranquility of a
Allora, l'obiettivo
well-maintained
in teoria
aquarium.
penso che sia comunque
But
prendere
like
il
the
punteggio
fish,
più alto.
Harold is swimming in a sea of isolation.
Però è talmente
Sometimes look
divertente
at the
a
fish
vedere
tank as
gli
if it
esiti
is
che
my
ve ne
bedroom
sto
and I am
fregando per
Mother.
il momento.
But then I felt it wasn't fair to keep the fish isolated like me, so I set it free.
What did you do with the fish?
Well, I took it to school to release into the nearby brook. But by the time I had got there, it had dried out in my pocket.
Ovviamente. Se l'è portato senza acqua.
I don't know much about art, but I know all the greats had one thing in common. Absent or awful mothers. Could Harold be a trapped artist?
I created this piece when I was about 9 years old. I had planned for an entire underwater scene, but only got as far as these fish before Mother burst through the door screaming. I was so startled, I stumbled and fell from the shelf, causing myself a serious back injury. The broken bones eventually healed on their own, but my breathing can be quite wheezy. I'm quite sure I needed medical attention, but Mother said only good boys are allowed to access the ambulance service, and he's never drawn on the walls since.
Ok.
My time with Harold has come to
Sinceramente
an end.
non lo so, però l'ho
I hope
sospettato.
one day he will find freedom and live a full
Perché
life.
nel
Until
primo
then, he will continue to look for
pure
ways
mi
to
sono
cope
fatto questa
with
domanda.
boredom and loneliness. I'm Nigel Wimble. Good night. Join us next week as Nigel investigates video games. Is it more than just bang bang your mum's a fag? 9 p.m. Wednesday night. TV.
Com'è orribile. Ho riso così tanto che ho cagato del latte. Philip Albert ha ucciso un pesce e lo fate e mostrate quest'uomo in televisione 3 su 10. Una vegana arrabbiata. Va bene. Ho fermato diciamo, per far smettere mia figlia di disegnare sul muro l'ho forzata a fumare un intero cartone di pastelli. Beh, sei migliorato, non proprio, però è interessante leggere anche le... Quando ho scelto la madre come elemento del documentario, mi è uscito un, come si dice, un annuncio per madri MILF, cioè per MILF. Madri MILF è una ripetizione. Ok, quindi le cose migliori quali erano? Mi pare il copione, la chitarra. Non so se il telescopio andava, però... Coniglio. Ah, ci sei? In che senso se ne... No, ne scegli 3 per documentario. Pensavo ti fossi addormentata, tipo.
Isolate.
Ok.
It's not just book. Nobody understands that more than the subject of tonight's episode of How to Cope with Boredom and Loneliness. A guide for the isolated.
Ok.
Hello, I'm Nigel Wimble. Harold Fletcher has been grounded to his bedroom. That's over. His mother has offered us a rare glimpse into his life as prisoner and son.
Ok, ha ripetuto la
I
prima.
hope to learn how Harold has coped with years of I spot.
Allora, io questi li ho già visti tutti. Bisogna vedere se funziona. Abbiamo skippato rapidamente pure la canzone, per fortuna.
Find freedom and live a full life. Boredom and
Loneliness.
do they really taste better cut down?
Sì, sandwich. Ah, un mese dopo. Quindi è riuscito.
This is one I wrote for you, Kevin. Oh, when we're in my room alone, I start to take off all my clothes. I wish I had a camera phone, 'cause that's a nice erotic photo. We could make a calendar and you could be December. Oh, carrots up you see in the dark. We don't need lights when we fuck. I just need somewhere to park. Actually, I think it's too some love from. Oh Kevin, you're a friend of mine. Through thick and thin, together to the end of time. Oh Kevin, you're a friend of mine, but I never really took the time to find out what was on your mind, just what you have in your insides. Oh Kevin, I'm so sorry, I don't want to see you cry. Oh Kevin, when we're making love, who you really thinking of? I know you like them strong and so why.
Beh, non si risparmiano con le canzoni comunque.
He's into you or even available. Oh Kevin, you're a friend of mine. Through thick and thin, together to the end of time.
Questo è il finale definitivo del gioco, no? Giustamente l'assolo.
Harold, I'm about to barge in, so make sure you're decent. Come in, Mother. You better not be touching Kevin up again. I'm merely serenading him, Mother. What are you doing with that camera? Where did you get it? I found it, Mother. Mr. Wimble must have dropped it. I thought I'd use it to record a song for Kevin. You can play it back if you want to listen. No, I don't want to bloody listen to it. You stole that camera, didn't you? You thieving little puss. What else have you been recording? Mummy's secrets? It will come back here looking for it, you know. It will come back here looking for it. Mummy's going to get changed. Give me that camera. I'll make sure Mr. Wimble gets what he's looking for. You stay up here in your bedroom. Okay, Mother. Don't hurt him like the other men.
Cosa? 10, 10, 10. Ok. Una manciata di ventole? In che senso? Credo che l'abbiamo praticamente finito.
But Vinci, that guy with no ears, and now Harold Fletcher? Have I discovered a tortured artist?
Stavo pensando che forse non ho sentito, cioè sto guardando gli achievement e ce n'è uno per ascoltare tutti i cosi e forse non l'ho fatto. Quindi ci proverei. Non so. L'ho già fatto. L'ultimo messaggio.
Potential soundbite for some.
Potential soundbite. Ok, questo non l'avevo visto. Questo l'avevo visto, questo mi pare pure. Questo l'avevo già visto un sacco di volte. Questo l'avevo già fatto. La TV l'avevo sicuramente già fatta. Copia l'avevo già fatto. Non mi dà l'achievement. Beh, forse non si fa così, in effetti. Magari ho... Ah, me l'ha dato. Ok, ho sbloccato tutti gli achievement, quindi mi sa che questo gioco si può dire che l'ho completato, non c'è nient'altro. Ok, così sono sicuro tra l'altro che non mi sono perso nessun finale. Cioè è difficile a questo punto che ci sia qualcos'altro. Quindi potrei anche uscire. Il primo era molto più figo, ci sono un po' rimasto male. Il primo aveva molte più location, più oggetti. Non c'era il sistema a punteggio, dovevi semplicemente finirlo. Ed era una storia più articolata, non lo so. Speravo che il secondo fosse meglio, invece mi sembra un gioco fatto molto più in piccolo. Non brutto, però mi aspettavo qualcosa di più elaborato.